Welcome back, everybody, to Caravan of Garbage, where we're talking the Monsterverse.
That's right, folks. It's time to sling a rucksack over our shoulders and march to a makeshift FEMA camp of some sort.
Oh my God.
Because we're back in the disaster zone.
We certainly are. So this one came hot off the heels of the previous one, which...
So hot.
Yeah. Scorching.
Scorching hot.
Yeah. There's a lot of hot stuff in this movie, though, isn't there?
Well,
literal hot stuff.
There's very literal hot stuff. I'd forgotten this one exists.
Yeah, I know, right?
Which is wild because...
It's very monstery.
It features Mothra, Rodan, King Ghidorah, which are like three of the most legendary Toho monsters.
Yep.
There is a scene where Godzilla gets so powerful that he melts the city he's in.
Woo!
And there's just a casual revelation that the Earth is hollow in this. And there's tunnels that the monsters travel around in. And it's just one line where Bradley Whitford goes, I knew it. I knew the Earth was hollow. And everybody goes, we're busy. We're busy right now. Settle. We'll talk about this later. But I just forgot.
Also, I never heard him say it.
Right?
Did he say it earlier in the movie?
I don't think so.
He didn't know.
But yeah, I forgot this movie exists. When did this come out?
2019,
Maybe that's why. Maybe because it's in the before times.
Yeah, it is. Anyways, leave a like if you could for Godzilla King of Monsters. Now, Gareth Edwards, who directed Godzilla 2014, he was apparently set to direct, but dropped out.
Of high school?
No, maybe. I don't know. I don't know his past. But he did so amicably because he didn't want to do a third blockbuster in a row because he did Godzilla, then he did Rogue One, and, you know, the whole Rogue One situation.
Yeah, I think it's probably...
Shuffled about.
It's probably less to do with he didn't want to do 3 blockbusters in a row and more to do with he did Rogue One and people got mad at him.
No, people like that, don't they?
Yeah, but, you know.
He was sort of fired and
Disney,
replaced.
yeah. Maybe the answer there is...
They Disneyed him.
He got Disneyed.
Yeah. The thing about this one, I feel like if you're like a classic monster movie fan, this aims for that kind of audience, like all the monsters that you mentioned that are in it, and there's more fights and all of that. So I can understand why, if you're into all of that, then that might all work for you. But this just doesn't really land for me.
Interesting.
And I think it's... I don't know, just having big monsters and a bunch of them and then some fights and then some okay human characters, it just doesn't kind of come together.
Okay, but what about family?
Sure.
You've got a family, and there's a family in this, so didn't that grab you?
This isn't my family, though. If it was my family, I'd be like, they're in peril. I gotta jump into the movie.
Is this real or not? What's going on? Wait, did they film this without me? Because in that case, I don't care what happens to them. Didn't involve me on Family Fun Day where they were in Godzilla King of the Monsters. They could go get stuffed as far as I'm concerned, my family.
But you liked it?
I liked it, I think, generally speaking.
Yeah.
Takes a minute to get going.
Sure.
But,
I mean, they all do, don't they?
Yeah. Good cast, as we mentioned. You know, it's a bunch of people,
actors.
It's a bunch of actors who aren't too expensive to all be in this movie.
Smart.
Kyle Chandler, always great.
Yep.
Vera Farmiga, Ken Watanabe, of course. Millie Bobby Brown before she got too expensive.
Absolutely.
To be in this sort of thing.
This is apparently her cinematic debut, which made me go, is it really? Wow. I thought she started movies in like 2001 or the 80s when Stranger Things is set. I don't understand time, Mason. I don't get it. I don't get it.
Do you think you could sustain this bit through the whole video?
I could do it for my whole life if I wanted to, Mason.
And you've already done it, because I don't understand time either. Success. We did it. Bradley Whitford, I mentioned Charles Dance. Thomas Middleditch is in this for a minute.
Yeah, absolutely.
David Strathairn, again, who's that general guy.
That's right. He's back. Also, Sally Paddington. What's her name? She's in The Shape of Water. The fuck's her name?
I don't know. Sally Hawkins?
Yeah. You're absolutely right. So yeah, you're right. They're Hollow Earth in it in this one, and it's also about...
Oh, and Miles Dyson.
Oh, Miles Dyson is in this. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
So as you mentioned, they're Hollow Earth in it in this one, and there's also a monster telephone. So you can call a monster and be like, hello, I need you to smash up this big city. This is Charles Dance speaking.
Yes.
And then he comes along and does the whatever thing. You know, and that's a fun little addition, you know.
Yeah, is it like...
You gotta get the case of the machine! It's sending out a signal! It's too many signals! Oh, God! And that, etc.
I was going to say it's more like a fire alarm that doesn't turn off. Like a smoke alarm that doesn't turn off, and it's just like, they're just stomping around being like, how can I switch this bloody thing off?
It's annoying! But I feel like also, I don't think the visuals are as impressive as the previous two, in particular Godzilla 2014, especially in terms of scale.
Okay.
And if I had to describe this movie visually, it would be wet and blue. But then at the end, it becomes more wet and red.
Yeah.
You know?
Sure,
and that's
sure.
kind of the what they're going for here. Not that there's not incredible visuals in this. There's a great moment where Rodan comes out of a volcano and Lady see the three-headed one up there. And then there's a cross, and that probably means something.
I think it did mean something.
Yeah.
And there's a moment also when Ghidorah picks up Godzilla and he takes him sort of in an orbit and then he drops him and it falls down. It looks sort of like a Renaissance painting. And I'm like, that probably means something.
Probably means something.
Probably means something, you know what I mean?
God, I love it when things mean something.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah. I also think, the fights are...
I'm saying Godzilla's Jesus.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. And he's coming down from heaven.
He's coming back.
To
And
blow everything up.
Jesus also got revived through a nuclear explosion, didn't
That's
he?
exactly right. Yeah, in that cave. Yeah.
Ken Watanabe climbed into the cave and set off a nuclear bomb.
And you remember when Jesus was in the temple and all the money lenders were there and all the people, and he's like, there's no place for this sort of thing. And then he melted everyone. Remember that? He turned red and he melted everyone.
He stomped, and then that big kind of like...
That atomic wave came off him.
Hello. What are you doing in here? You can't hang out here. We're podcasting. What are you up to? Good. All right, let me grab you. Come here. Does Mum know you're out here? Did you escape?
Oh. Everyone's gone nutty, James.
All right. It's the witching hour.
I was going to say, is it nutty time? Because I'm not normally here.
Yeah, Claire was like going mad looking for her. She didn't know where she was. Anyway. I also think...
Oh, there's a dog here.
Yeah, there's a dog too. I also think the fights, I don't know, they are missing something. I think there are some like pretty iconic moments in it, including like the death at the very end. But I don't feel like a lot of it is super creative, and I feel like that's not even the right word. They are creative.
Do you think Godzilla himself is in some sort of sophomore slump here? He's like,
maybe.
Oh God, everybody wants me to do some stuff. Remember, I blasted that guy with my atomic breath through his mouth, and then I ripped his head off.
It was cool.
God, everybody wants me to do another one of those. I mean, I guess. How about Ghidorah comes out and I pretend like he's still alive, but actually I'm holding his neck in my mouth, and then I shoot my laser through his mouth. Oh, God, it's just more mouth stuff. I did it before. Oh, God.
I mean, it's a variation on mouth stuff.
Yeah.
It's good to mix up your mouth stuff.
That's right.
Try different techniques, etc.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like maybe it's the scale that's kind of not as good in the fights. Maybe that's what it feels like, for me. I don't know. How do you feel about Ghidorah as a villain? I like the idea that they brought over from some of the versions that he's an alien. Yeah. Not supposed to be on this earth.
Is he supposed to be smart?
I think the middle one's smart.
Okay, right.
Like they apparently have different personalities and whatever.
Okay, right.
Yeah.
The middle one is
smart as a dog.
The middle one is smart, and the one on the left is so dumb that you can blast its head off and it will grow another head back, and it doesn't seem to affect
it doesn't
in
matter
any way.
at all, right? Yeah.
The one on the right, he's regular intelligence, but he's very sarcastic. Oh, good one. Oh, grow your head back. Great strategy. I don't know. I kind of feel like maybe my memories of this character from like the Japanese movies is too vague. But I was always under the impression that he was more of like that's because he's from space, right?
Yeah.
Is he?
And sometimes he's controlled by aliens, I think.
Yeah, maybe that's it.
Yeah,
okay,
I don't know
right.
specifically. Yeah.
I don't know. You know what? Maybe it is. It's because they all just seem like dumb dogs. Do you think that's what it is?
Like everything in this movie.
Everything in this movie seems like a dumb dog.
That should be one of the titans. Like they've got a mammoth and a crab or whatever. Just a big dumb dog.
Yeah, it's a labradoodle.
Just a big floppy stupid dog running through a city. Yeah.
I like him, but he's too big. I'd play with him, but he'd crush me. It's pretty cool, though.
I also think this one, it kind of drags. And I'm not alone in thinking that, because Charles Dance, who's in this, he said this at the premiere. I had difficulty staying awake. No, I didn't say that. I mean, it's spectacular.
Wow.
And when asked about the filming of it, he said, the catering was sensational.
Great.
So that says something. I mean, on these kind of properties, sure, with this kind of budget,
you'd hope so.
Going to get some pretty swift catering.
They set up a big bowl for the big dog. You got to take anything you wanted out of it.
Oh my God.
Have a big scoop of anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's some, he's done his fair share of great and not great movies.
He's in The Golden Child with Eddie Murphy.
Oh, yeah.
And Game of Thrones, whatever. Yeah. Probably, I think is he in an Ali G movie or something? I was like, you can't be here, Ali G. This is the Queen's bedroom or whatever,
Yeah, sure.
Something like that.
Maybe, and I'm the Queen. Why, I'm here. I'm allowed to be here. The Queen. Yeah, maybe. Also, I think he's made the mistake there of actually sticking around for the movie. Because
normally they shoot
Hollywood
too,
celebrities,
right?
Don't they just run the red carpet and then leave?
That's true. I guess so. Yeah, I mean, it depends on if they've seen it before, I'd imagine.
That's true.
Yeah. But Michael Dougherty, the director of this, he said an earlier cut of this film was 3 hours long. And he
that's too long.
I agree. He affectionately referred to it as the 3-hour cut of Godzilla, the miniseries, which of course is happening. He considered splitting the film into 2 parts, but decided against it, feeling that the final cut is faithful to the core of his original vision. I can't see this. Like, how is this 2? Like, that's...
And also, I love the idea of he considered it. That's the only step, is it?
Yeah.
Then you go to your bosses and you're like, I'm considered no. So no then? Okay.
Okay, cool, thanks.
Maybe they would though.
Yeah.
They'd probably be amenable. Oh, we get 2 movies for the price of 1. Okay.
How do you feel about the, I mean, because you were talking about families, you know, like, can I relate to this family? The answer's no. But how do you feel about the family sacrifice in this? You know, Vera Farmiga's like, I'll die in a big explosion.
I can't relate to it.
No?
I wouldn't die in a big explosion for my family.
No?
Would you, bearing in mind you have children and I don't?
I would have to, Mason.
Yeah, okay.
Unfortunately. I wouldn't love it.
There's still time to cut this out.
No, I die in a big explosion for my family, I guess, holding a box that calls Godzilla.
Would you die if someone puts you in a wood chipper feet first? For your family?
Yes.
Okay.
I'd have to.
Yeah,
Wait, do they go in or am I just doing it for their amusement?
It's that one. It's that one.
I probably wouldn't do that then.
Yeah.
Do it, Dad, yeah.
Your son didn't want a bouncy castle for his birthday. He wanted a dad in a wood chipper.
The final battle, though,
Yes.
I think it's, you know, it is pretty solid. He's doing big sonic explosions somehow because he's supercharged
He's
up.
got a, you know what I think maybe annoyed me about this scene is that he's doing a double power up situation.
He is, isn't he?
He gets the power up from the nuclear detonation where Watanabe sets off that bomb for him.
That's what he does.
You think he's still alive?
Watanabe?
Yes.
He might be.
Yeah.
Probably could have rolled into a ditch.
That's what I'm thinking. He probably rolled into a ditch. But then Godzilla gets another power up because Mothra does the big sacrifice.
Beautiful.
Gets lasered.
Do you cry?
No.
You don't
I can't relate. I don't have a Mothra in my family.
No?
No.
Yeah. Fair enough, I guess so. I can relate. I don't know why, because I don't have a Mothra.
Yeah,
I don't know what
that's
that
probably
means.
it, yeah.
It is crazy, though, how that head... Was it alive at the end when he was holding the head? Because it looked like it was, like, wiggling about. Or was he just, like... Was he just waggling it?
Yeah, for the crowd. No, I think probably, you know, King Ghidorah operates on the same principle as, you know, a chicken with its head cut off.
Okay,
Because
sure.
it's the same. It's the
Can
same
he grow
DNA.
back the rest of his body? Did Godzilla eat the entire body?
I think so, yeah.
Up to the neck.
I think so, yeah.
Okay, great. That's really good.
I think he melted it and then he drank it like a big milkshake.
Lovely. That's really good. How do you feel about the concept of, like, there needs to be an alpha in this universe, right? Now, of course, that alpha concept, which they mention here about wolves, that's not true.
I see.
That's been long debunked, but, you know, people still talk about it. They're like, I'm an alpha like a wolf, and I'm a man who does 1,000 push-ups.
That's right, exactly. Well, do you think maybe if that doesn't apply, perhaps the way more accurate theory of the Sigma? Do you think Godzilla's maybe a Sigma and he's got a Sigma grind set?
Yeah, he might have a Sigma grind set and a podcast.
That's probably it. I think that probably they're attracted to him because of his podcast, obviously.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
And his ability to eat like giblets and milk together. And here's the clip.
Why? Why are you doing that?
I don't know. There's still time to take it out, but I don't know how to do that. So,
do you enjoy like all the other monsters though? You mentioned it, like seeing like Mothra and Rodan and the big dumb mammoth and Crabzilla and all of that, and they come in and they give a big bow. Like,
yeah, well, it's interesting.
God, they must have really been booking it across that planet Earth to get there in time to
they'll
bow.
go through the Hollow Earth.
They don't, do they?
Well, they must do.
I don't know about. How does a mammoth do that? Can it swim?
I think there's a slippy slide.
Oh, okay, right.
Yeah. And a vortex, probably a vortex in the
Probably
sea
is
or
a
whatever.
vortex, yeah.
I don't know. I mean, on the one hand, it feels a little bit like remember the later Schumacher Batman movies where they're just dropping in a bunch of villains all at the same time.
Yeah,
You're like,
yeah.
well, they don't really have that much to. They each don't have enough screen time, but at the same time, I don't care about these monsters.
Okay,
So
sure.
that's fine. Also, how much personality do these monsters have?
I think the crab should, I don't know, have a job. Like a normal job.
Think so?
Yeah.
You think so?
Works downtown.
Yeah.
Remember he has a little coffee cart. I don't know. I don't know what he's doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would make him relatable. Yeah. And I cannot believe,
Yes.
I'd forgotten this, but Charles Dance post-credits us again.
Yeah.
Like he did for the movie Dracula Untold.
That's right.
He basically let the games begins us, which is just like, there's more to come.
That's right.
There's more things down the road.
Well, he's got the gravitas for that, you know?
He certainly does. But he doesn't have the gravitas to be in the next movie.
Yeah, what happened to that guy?
I don't know.
Because this is
Maybe he shouldn't have said the movie was boring and he fell asleep. Maybe that's why.
Maybe that's why his character died off screen. He drowned in the toilet.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, I get because this sets up because they use the brain of one of the Ghidorahs to create
Yeah,
Mechagodzilla.
we'll talk about
right?
it next week. But
Okay,
yeah,
right,
exactly.
okay.
That's fun.
That is fun.
You know what else is fun?
Go on.
The segment, my dog's fighting in the background. Of the
Your
recording.
dog fighting ring, James.
Yeah, no,
Some audio bleeding through of your dog fighting ring.
I don't think so.
Interesting.
They're probably just
That's soundproofed. Your dog fighting ring is soundproof. These are different dogs.
I think they're just worked up because of the chicken fighting ring that we also have.
Oh,
You know,
yeah,
it gets
sure.
them all.
Yeah.
Gets them all rolled up. Yeah.
They're betting on the mongoose versus the snake you have set up.
Anyway, the segment is, how big is it?
Yep.
So King Ghidorah stands at 521 feet or 158.8 meters tall, making him 128 feet taller than Godzilla, who stands at 393 feet or 119.8 meters. But also, the Godzilla in this is also about 100 meters bigger than the previous
Interesting.
movie.
You think he's on the roids?
He's on the roads, mate.
Yeah.
He's gearing up. I don't know what he's doing.
He's on that juice.
Tren.
Yeah. Well, he's eating all those giblets and milk. Here's the clip.
Why?
I don't know. Now, the height of King Ghidorah, though, does that factor in the neck?
I think it would.
Because I think you should factor in, I don't know, I think there should be a different metric. I think it should be like...
Where would you measure a giraffe to? Would you cut off the legs? Would you just measure the torso? What are you talking about?
Yeah, just the torso. All giraffes are 5 feet tall. No, I don't know. I feel like it's cheating, especially since...
It's not hair.
No, I don't know, man.
Unless it is hair.
Maybe it's hair. I don't know. I feel like, because they,
All right.
yeah. Somebody do the calculation without the neck.
But this is, of course, the largest incarnation of Godzilla, an American version, at the time of release. Yeah. Anyways, now it's time for Godzilla Trivia of Trivia. It's a trivia section, Mason. So cranial scans indicate middle head is the most intelligent, acting as the alpha, like a wolf, while the left and right heads are more akin to its lackeys.
So Beta and Sigma.
Exactly.
So the one on the right does have a podcast.
Director Michael...
He just does reaction videos to the other two heads. Oh, his head's growing back. Oh, great. Good work. Everybody see this? Wow. Okay, it's just the thumbnail.
Yep.
And then it's one head growing back and then the middle head. And then in the corner. In the corner, there's like a picture of the head on the right going, wow.
Director Michael Dougherty told the design team to maintain an Eastern Dragon influence and to avoid any Western Dragon influences.
If you could make it look like King Ghidorah.
Yeah, exactly. Stating these are not traditional Western dragons. So those were the marching orders from the beginning. We don't want it to look like a Game of Thrones dragons, which makes sense.
Maybe Charles Dance wants them to make them look like that.
I don't think he cares. I don't think he saw it. He fell asleep.
That's right.
Yeah. A fan asked director Michael Dougherty on Twitter, how did Ghidorah get trapped in the ice in Antarctica in King of Monsters? And Dougherty replied, Ghidorah and Godzilla fought for the crown in ancient Antarctica, and Godzilla won by presumably shooting a freeze laser, which
using his famous freeze laser.
a thing he could do, definitely. Yeah, so there you go. Now, the budget for this was around $200 million, a big one, Mason, but the box office return was only $387.3. That was down on the first Godzilla movie, which made $529, and Kong Skull Island, which made $566. I think word of mouth wasn't like great for this. It didn't review as well.
Yeah.
And I think the only reason the next one got made is because they were already making it.
Oh, you sure? Yeah.
And I think they were surprised that that one did so well, the next one, which is why they've continued it.
Yeah, I heard a lot of people they bought a ticket for something else and then they walked into Godzilla right at the end so they could look at the post-credits with Charles Dance in it.
I go, wow.
Yeah, wow.
Can't wait to see him in the next movie. But speaking of the next movie, Mason.
Go on.
We're going to be talking about Godzilla fights King Kong next week.
Oh, yeah. For a bit.
For a bit, yeah. And if you want to see that early, you can actually head over to bigsandwich.co, which is like our private subscription service. It's $9 a month if you're interested. Not only are there early videos, there's video game Let's Plays, there's bonus podcasts, there's movie commentaries. There are thousands of hours of exclusive stuff that goes up there, all ad-free. Including our podcast, The Weekly Planet, where we talk movies and comics and TV shows. That also has a main feed when it comes out Monday. It's on YouTube and it's on Apple. It's on other apps.
We should get an AI to say this every week, I think.
No, Mason.
You know?
We should get an AI for all of this.
Oh, you think?
Yeah, why not?
Oh, let's input all our old videos into an AI and see what it comes up with. Just two men screaming, probably.
Anyways, thank you for watching this video. Thank you so much to Ben and Lawrence for the edit.
Thank you, Ben and Lawrence.
And we'll see you on the next video.
Did you like the big flying wing? The flying headquarters? I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was cool.
That was pretty cool.
Pretty cool. Yeah. I like a big thing. I'll enjoy it.
Yeah.
It was okay.
Just like humans can say, we have a big thing too.
Yeah. It was all right. I don't know. You know, the whole thing. It's all right.
Yeah. What could they trim? I don't know.
I don't know if it's trim. It's just like, God, this is a long outro. It's just like, I just think, I don't know, the elements just don't kind of come together for me.
Interesting.
And I don't even know specifically why.
Okay, so for future Godzilla directors, we're no help. We cannot help you.
Yeah.
Just change the vibe, all right?
Yeah, I don't know, yeah.
Fix it.
Figure it out.
Figure it out.
It's your job. My job's to do this.
That's right. And my job's to react to that. Okay, you're in the main thumbnail. I'm here in the corner going, wow! Ah!
All right, thanks everyone.
Grab that gem, guys. We'll see you next week.